Now I'm not going to show you how to cut every one, but this one's 14 and a long 7/8 from inside to inside. Okay, so I'm going to do my little trick again. Lock my tape, and you can put, you can put it at this end if you want, but this is designed to move around to push it for inside wall measurements, outside wall measurements. That's why it moves. But I like to, for trim, you can get it a little bit better if you burn an inch, and then you just have to make sure to add an inch. You know what I mean? So I've got it right there on an inch, and I wanted 14 and 7/8 long, which means 14 and 15/16. So I'm just gonna line that straight down and eyeball that straight down. Okay, and I know it's gonna go that way. That's where my next cut is. Now, if you were noticing on that last one, when I measured it and I marked it, I said 14 and a long 7/8. And I should have said 15 and a long 7/8. So whenever you start measuring, you always, if you're gonna burn an inch, you always gotta make sure you add that inch. And if you got questions, double check it. Measure twice, cut once. Well, there it is. Didn't take me very long to get that trim on there. Okay, I put it all the way around. You notice I put some caulking up there. And it's a good idea to do that on exterior. I ended up putting screws in there. You could put galvanized 8-penny nails in your trim. I didn't want to start banging on it because there's a guest in the condo there. So I just put this on with sheetrock screws. Okay, here's the sheetrock screws I used. See, the one to the right is a 2-inch, one to the left is a 2.5-inch, and that's all I had. Now, they have screws that look just like that, coarse thread and all, that are galvanized, and that's probably what I should have used because it's on the exterior. But I'm not too concerned about that because I'm putting this caulking over the top of the screws. When I put those screws in, yeah, you saw the drill down there. I used the cordless battery operated drill, and I just countersunk the screws just a little bit so I could put the caulking in there. Try it. This caulking I had, it's just tub and tile caulking. You can use an exterior grade or, find something, but this is for weather proofing conditions, waterproofing, and so I'm just going to use it. Now I'm going to have to go over this, with paint and everything. You saw this, it's not pre-painted. This was a pre-primed trim. And that's what I would suggest you get for exterior, because then that's one less coat you have to worry about is the prime coat. It's already primed. Look, it almost matches. And I'll probably still end up putting 2 coats of the exterior paint on there. It's usually a good idea to do that. Now they didn't have their corners caulked before, but I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it on mine just because that's the kind of guy I am. Once you paint that, it's gonna blend in. Okay. There. Once you start getting in there and start doing a few little projects on your own, it becomes easier and easier to do things. Why pay somebody else to do stuff like this? A carpenter would probably want $35 an hour. Then he's got to come out and do it, and he probably wouldn't caulk this like this either. You'd have to do that. Oh, that's extra, you know what I mean? Now I could go around the edges and caulk the trim in here, but they didn't have that on the entire building. It's not caulked anywhere, and so I'm deciding I'm not going to do that. Okay, and the reason being, it's around an air conditioner, so even if any water gets in on the top of that and down, it's going to hit the air conditioner can, it's going to go underneath, and then it's going to come out. Okay, if this was a window or something that you're trimming around, I would definitely caulk all of this. I would caulk the edge, but also caulk in there because I don't want any little ants or different things going in there or whatever. And especially at the top, because if you got any groove siding like this one is, okay, you gotta do the top edges too in the little grooves and everything if you want to prevent leaks. But in this case, this is all I'm doing. I'm good to go. Cracked me up. Whoever installed the last air conditioner, they had to redo the existing trim. And what do you suppose they used? They used pine, 1x8 pine, and they painted it. You never use pine like this on exterior trim. It cupped first off, and it doesn't match the existing, and it just does not look good. This is for interior pine. So whenever you do exterior trim, always nice to match existing conditions. I keep thinking I'm gonna store this somewhere and I'm not gonna keep it with me, but man, this little back saw in the miter box came in handy once again. It took me a few minutes to cut the trim and all, you know, but I did it. I didn't need a skill saw, and I got my job done. That's all I got for this time, but I'll be back with more videos.